When people think about switching to an electric car in the United States, one of the first questions they ask is, where am I going to charge it? This is a fair question because, unlike gas cars that can fill up at any corner station, electric vehicles rely on electricity. That means you either charge at home or go to a public charging station. Each option has its own benefits and challenges. And in this video, we'll talk about both in a simple, down-to-earth way. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of what might work best for you. Let's start with the most familiar setting, charging at home. For many EV owners, home charging feels a lot like charging your phone. You come home from work, plug in the car, and by the time you wake up in the morning, it's ready to go. This routine is one of the biggest reasons people love having an EV. You don't have to think about stopping at a gas station or waiting in line. It's just there, ready for you. Most people use what's called a level 2 charger at home. Don't let the term confuse you. It's basically a 240-volt outlet, like the one used for an electric dryer or oven. This type of charger can add about 25 to 40 miles of driving range per hour. That means if you leave your car plugged in overnight, you'll almost always have a full battery in the morning. Some people start with a regular 120-volt wall outlet, which is called level 1 charging, but it's pretty slow, only about 3 to 5 miles of range per hour. For daily commuting, level 2 is the sweet spot. Now let's talk about cost, because that's something every household pays attention to. In most parts of the US, the average residential electricity rate is about 13 to 17 cents per kilowatt hour. To keep it simple, if you have an electric car with a 60 kilowatt hour battery, enough for roughly 250 miles of driving, you'll spend around $8 to $10 to fully charge it at home. If your utility company offers special nighttime rates, you can save even more by charging during off-peak hours. Compare that to filling up a gas tank, which can easily cost $40 to $60 depending on your car and local gas prices. That's a big difference. Home charging also gives you more control over the environmental impact of your driving. If you have solar panels on your roof, you can charge your EV using clean, renewable energy. That means you're not just saving money, you're also cutting down on carbon emissions. Even without solar, many electric utilities let you choose a greener energy plan that includes more wind or solar power. So, home charging often feels like the most eco-friendly option. But home charging isn't perfect for everyone. Not all Americans live in houses with garages or driveways. If you live in an apartment or a condo, you might not have access to a private charger. Installing one can also require an upfront investment. A level 2 charger costs anywhere from $500 to $1,200, and if your home's electrical panel needs upgrading, the cost can go higher. There are tax credits and rebates in many states to help with this, but it's something to consider. Now let's shift gears and talk about public charging stations. These are the charging points you see in parking lots, shopping centers, rest areas, and along highways. Public chargers come in two main types, Level 2 and DC fast chargers. Level 2 chargers at public spots work just like the ones you can install at home, but you might pay more, typically around 25 to 40 cents per kilowatt hour. This is still usually cheaper than gasoline, but it's higher than what you'd pay for home electricity. Then there's DC fast charging, which is the real game changer for road trips and long-distance driving. These chargers are powerful. Instead of waiting hours, you can add 100 to 200 miles of range in about 20 to 30 minutes. That's still slower than pumping gas, but it's fast enough to make long journeys manageable. Networks like Tesla Supercharger, Electrify America, and EVgo are expanding across the country to make this even easier. Of course, convenience comes with a price. DC fast chargers usually cost more, often between 40 and 65 cents per kilowatt hour. Using our example of a 60 kilowatt hour battery, a full charge at a fast charger could cost you $24 to $36. That's 2 to 3 times more than charging at home. If you rely on fast charging every day, the costs will add up quickly. But for occasional road trips or emergencies, it's worth paying for the speed. Another thing to think about is availability. While the number of public charging stations is growing every year, they're still not as common as gas stations, especially in rural areas. In big cities, you may find plenty of chargers, but during peak times, you might have to wait your turn. Some stations also charge idle fees if you leave your car plugged in after it's fully charged, so you have to keep an eye on your app or notifications. So, what's the best option for most people? The answer depends on your lifestyle. If you have a garage or driveway and can install a level 2 charger, home charging is usually the best choice. It's cheaper, more convenient, and gives you the peace of mind that your car will always be ready each morning. For daily commutes, running errands, and local trips, home charging covers almost all your needs. On the other hand, if you live in an apartment or don't have access to private parking, public charging may be your only option. In that case, it's worth checking which charging networks are strong in your area. Apps like PlugShare and ChargePoint can help you find nearby chargers and see real-time availability. Also, consider signing up for memberships with networks like Electrify America or EVgo, as they often offer lower rates for regular users. Let's not forget road trips. Even people who charge at home most of the time rely on public fast chargers when they travel long distances. For example, driving from Los Angeles to San Francisco or from Chicago to Nashville is no problem these days because of the growing network of highway chargers. Planning your route with stops at fast chargers has become as normal as checking where to grab a coffee on the way. Something else to keep in mind is time. With home charging, the charging happens while you're sleeping or doing something else at home. There's no lost time. Public charging, on the other hand, requires you to plan for charging stops. Even with fast chargers, you'll spend 20 to 30 minutes waiting, which isn't bad if you use the time to grab a snack or stretch your legs, but it's still part of the travel equation. The environmental side of things is also worth mentioning again. Both home and public charging rely on the electric grid, which in the US comes from a mix of sources: natural gas, coal, nuclear, wind, and solar. Some states like California and Washington have cleaner grids with more renewable energy, which means charging is greener there. By charging at home with solar panels or a green energy plan, you can reduce your personal carbon footprint even further. In the bigger picture, the US is moving toward making EV charging more accessible. The government is investing billions of dollars in expanding public charging infrastructure along major highways and in rural communities. This means that over the next few years, the gap between home and public charging will narrow as more stations become available and prices hopefully become more competitive. But until that happens, the majority of EV owners in America, over 80%, still do most of their charging at home. Public charging is more like a backup plan or a tool for road trips. For many families, the ideal situation is a mix. Charge at home for daily use and use public fast chargers when traveling.